Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel, where today we need to talk about this man on screen here, Jude Bellingham, because wow, oh wow. Since that move to Real Madrid in the summer, he has been setting the world alight. Absolutely brilliant in his opening weeks in Spain. He's been a joy, a revelation to watch. He's been absolutely incredible. Those that know me in real life will know that I'm very pleased to hear that, because this is a player that I've been going on about for a long time. Before the channel even existed, I was watching him play for Birmingham City, and he was the player which really got me into football scouting and that world. So Jude Bellingham is a real favourite of mine. And his start at Madrid has just been absolutely brilliant. Only 4 games in La Liga so far, but 5 goals and 1 assist already. It's just an absolutely ridiculous tally. He's really carrying the weight of that Real Madrid attack so well. Now I think what's most impressive, more than anything else we can talk about, obviously we'll get into tactics, we'll get into profile and things like that. I think what is most impressive is for a 20-year-old Englishman to go over to Spain and shoulder the responsibility. This is the biggest club in the world, in my opinion. Certainly the most pressurised club in the world, the most pressurised situations. If you don't win the Champions League, you've failed. At 20 years old, he's gone into one of the best midfields of all time and made it look like his own. His mentality above everything else is just incredible. The confidence, the arrogance even, that ability to kind of hold himself in games. We've seen players kind of giving him a bit of a rough treatment, constantly in his ear. It doesn't bother him. He can give it back. He was 16 years old playing in the English Championship. Of course he can give back a bit of stick. But in general, just all round, he's been absolutely brilliant. And I think something which makes Madrid fans love him so much is, of course, everything he does on the ball is incredible. But it's his work rate off the ball, it's his desire, it's his passion, it's his work rate. He really puts everything into team performances. For example, when the team don't have the ball, he's happy to drop off into a 4-4-2. And he does do more than his fair share of defensive work in this system. Sometimes he'll be in the middle of a 4-4-2, sometimes he will be wide. But I think that is something which will immediately make Madrid fans like him. And it would make any fan base like him. He just works hard for his club and for his shirt, and that's absolutely brilliant. We can see it here. If we use Once Video Analyzer Pro, a really good video analysis software, which you guys can check out using the link in the description down below. But we've got him marked here. This is 24 minutes into the game. We can see that he is happy to do this defensive work. Yes, he's come for a big fee. Yes, he's a star. He's got so much attacking talent. But he's humble. He is willing to do this defensive work off the ball. And he works really hard in general as a player. Once again here, dropping off into a 4-4-2. So I think that is something which is instantly making Madrid fans like him. However, at the end of the day, it's what he does on the ball which is really exciting and actually quite interesting. You see up here we have Chouameni's numbers this season. We can see that he's averaging 78.5 touches per 90. Compare that to Jude Bellingham over there, just 65.8. So what we can see is that despite producing such good numbers since moving to Madrid, Jude Bellingham isn't actually playing as a high volume player as such. He isn't playing as someone who is always dropping into midfield and doing the work from there. And that is a change to the way in which he has played in the past. At Borussia Dortmund, he was by far their best player, particularly last season. And as a result, he was getting to the point where he was doing the job of 3 or 4 midfielders. He was kind of taking on that himself, whether he was meant to or not. He was so heavily involved. He was trying to do the job of a deep midfielder, of a box-to-box midfielder, and an attacking midfielder. At Real Madrid, it's a little bit different. He's allowed to push forward, and this is really helping him. But we can see it in a few clips if I just quickly go back to Once Video Analyzer Pro. We can see in situations like this, when the ball is in deeper areas for Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham, a lot of the time, he isn't dropping in and trying to get on the ball. He is actually making runs higher up the pitch. He's pushing forward off the ball. His first interest, or his first thought at the moment, isn't to drop deep and dictate play. And I think this is actually helping him as a player. Again, here you can see it. Real Madrid move the ball to the right-hand side. Jude Bellingham could quite comfortably, for example, drop in to this sort of position here to get the ball. That is something which Bellingham could do. But he doesn't really have an interest in that. At the moment, he's making forward runs, really suiting the tip of the diamond in that 4-4-2 diamond shape, making runs forward. And, I mean, obviously, in the opening weeks, that is working incredibly well for him. However, the good thing about this position for Bellingham is the freedom he gets. So not only can he push forward and trouble the back line, he can also drop deep when he wants to. And that allows him to manipulate the opposition, which is something he's really very good at. But because he isn't one of the main players responsible for progressing the ball, it means that when he fancies it, he can just drop into these positions here, kind of outside of the opposition structure, allowing him to pick up the ball, and from there, that's when you can see him driving. Whether he's picking the ball up in this pocket of space here, just outside, a shape like this, he is so good at carrying the ball forward in these areas. I think it's a side of his game which could go to the next level at Madrid if kind of given the role to do it. So we can see it here, for example. In a situation like this, we can see that initially he is pushed higher, but now he shows that interest. Can I drop a little bit deeper? Can I get outside of the Celta Vigo shape and get on the ball? We can see it here. He receives the ball unchallenged. This is him dropping a little bit deeper, kind of showing his Dortmund days a little bit more, trying to drop deep and get involved. But what's important is that not only can he do this, not only can he drop into these areas and keep it safe and keep it sideways and keep it backwards, he's also so good at receiving the ball and getting on the turn. This is where he's brilliant. So here he's a little bit higher up in between the opposition lines, in the half space waiting to receive the ball. He receives the ball, and what is so good is the way he uses his body to turn and protect the ball, but then he has that real drive. He's not the quickest player in the world, but his acceleration over the first few steps is actually pretty good. And once he's kind of up to speed and carrying the ball, because of his size, because of his stride length, he is so difficult to tackle. And again, it's making him a brilliant weapon in the Real Madrid attack, allowing him to get into areas like this. Now, of course, on this occasion, the pass is mistimed, the run isn't very good, but you can see what he's offering. He offers that change of pace in the midfield. We see it again in this next clip down here. Jude Bellingham on this occasion picking the ball up a little bit deeper, outside of the attack, outside of the opposition structure, but he's more than happy to move forward with the ball. He has that confidence, that arrogance to take the ball forward and get into spaces which kind of on paper aren't particularly favourable, surrounding himself with either 3 or 4 opposition players. But again, he has the ability to knock the ball past these players and drive forward. That is why he is so good, because he offers something just different. He is this kind of what we're seeing, the evolution of the modern day midfielder. Not only these players which are really technical, really good with their feet, really good on the turn, but also just complete athletes. That is what Jude Bellingham is bringing to this Real Madrid team. A drive to the team. It's absolutely ridiculous. So before we continue into the video, a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, JerseyFifa.com, the home of all of the greatest football kits. Whether that be the new latest releases or the old classic ones like this, Jersey FIFA has something for everyone, and now you can check it out yourself using the link in the description down below. And also make sure to use code JerseyFifa for 10% off when you order. Such is Jude Bellingham's ability on the ball. He's even being given a license at times by Carlo Ancelotti to basically go and do whatever he wants. Again, we can see him driving forward past the opposition's defensive line. We can see him dropping deep outside of these areas. But also, he can move into the half spaces, whether that be the left-hand side or the right-hand side. He's popping up all over the pitch. But importantly, he's doing it in forward areas. This is something similar to what we saw him do for England at the World Cup. Again, at Dortmund, he was more used to dropping deep and progressing the play from there. Whereas Gareth Southgate used him as a bit more of a higher attacking player who carries the ball forward on the break. And Ancelotti is taking that to the next level, giving him genuine, real attacking freedom to basically move wherever he wants. And again, if we go back over to the clips real quickly, we can see this. Here he's in the left-hand half space, kind of getting into the penalty area, causing problems, looking to take players on. But such is his freedom that the next clip, not that much later in the game, about 2 minutes, he's now on the right-hand side, in the right half space, in the right channel, causing problems over there. So you can see the freedom he's being given in the final third. But the most important thing for me at the moment, and what he's really doing well at Madrid, and what is really making him stand out, is this ability to get into the penalty area, to get into the box and be a box crasher. Typically, when the team is fully fit, Real Madrid are starting with Vinicius and Rodrigo as a front two in a diamond. It's not the most physically imposing front two you'll ever see in the world. So Jude Bellingham is kind of crashing the box, and we can see it here. The ball goes wide, the ball's going to come into the box, and Jude Bellingham is sniffing about. Now, the first delivery actually goes further back, but we're going to see the knock-on from, I think it's Valverde there. You see the knock-on, Jude Bellingham is in the box sniffing about, and as we've seen at the start of the video, he's scoring goals. We've got another one here. This time, he is attacking the right space here, and the ball is on the left-hand side. At the moment, he's kind of casually just jogging forward. However, as the ball goes wide, he uses that as the trigger to really break his neck to get into the box. And again, that is what Madrid fans will love about him. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. He is desperate to get into these areas. He really busts a gut to get into these areas. And of course, once in these positions, he is producing genuine quality. And that's why his start to Real Madrid has been so good, because he's given attacking freedom, the license, if you like, to move into different areas of the pitch, to ask different problems of the opposition defence. Is he going to push high and run past your defensive line? Is he going to drop deep and receive the ball outside of your structure? From there, is he going to carry the ball forward? Is he going to pass the ball forward? Is he going to move into a half space? Or is he going to crash your box? He's just offering so much different stuff at Real Madrid right now, and that's why his start has been so electric. Now, whilst his start to life in Spain has obviously been tremendous, it's been ridiculously good, the good news for Real Madrid fans and even England fans and just fans of good footballing talent is this isn't the best of Jude Bellingham yet. We're not even seeing him arguably being used in his best role at the moment, because what we're not seeing is a player who drops deep and progresses the ball with his passing. That's a side to his game which is immensely improved in the last 12 months. And again, it's something which Real Madrid aren't really unlocking yet. So, if in the future, whether that be this season or in the next 18 months or the next couple of years, if we see him at times starting to drop a little bit deeper on a more regular basis and then pass the ball forward from there, you're going to see another level of player once again. We've seen it in glimpses so far at Real Madrid. You can go watch the compilations. He does it here and there. But it's something that he can do on a much more regular basis because his vision is excellent, his weight of pass is excellent, his decision making is brilliant on the ball. And again, it makes him such a good, well-rounded player. He can do it with little flicks around the corner. He can throw in those Cruyff turns in the middle of the park, the roulettes, anything. He's capable, genuinely, of doing so much as a footballer. I don't think he will ever be a drop-deep number 6 and dictate the play midfielder. He's not that. He's more all-action, this box-to-box 8 role. At the moment, being used as more of a 10, crashing the box, is really getting a lot out of him. I still think in the long term, he might maybe drop a little bit deeper. But genuinely, just all-round, this is a top player who you should watch as much as you can. Again, if you support Real Madrid, watch him. If you support England, watch him as much as you can. But again, even if you don't support either of those two teams, just watch Jude Bellingham as much as possible because he is such a good player. He's such a good personality. He's happy to do that scrappy, feisty, fighting side of the game, which was actually what impressed me the most when he was just 16 years old in the Championship. It was that physical ability to compete in one of the most demanding leagues in the world. But of course, as he's grown and matured, we've really seen a technical side to his game, which is just absurd. It's just crazy. This genuinely, in my opinion, right, and we don't want to overhype him and get carried away, in my opinion, he could go on to become the best English midfielder we have ever seen. And that's high praise because we've seen Paul Scholes, we've seen Steven Gerrard, and we've seen Frank Lampard, sorry. So it's real praise to be making a claim like that. But genuinely, Jude Bellingham is just setting the world alight at Real Madrid at the moment. And hopefully now you know how he is doing it. He's doing it by being given real attacking freedom to get on the ball in different areas, do what he wants with the ball, drive forward, get into the box and hurt the opposition. That is what is making him so good, and it's why I love him so much. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. What have you made to his start to life at Real Madrid? How do you think he'll do for England in the upcoming international games? What is his best role in that team? All of that, let me know in the comments down below. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.